We live in such a quick fix society that we have something wrong and we expect an instant solution, an instant result, and we are not so willing to go through the adventure and the the growth of process. And Tantra is very much a process, rediscovering, re exploring who we are is a process, finding who we are in the world, connecting with our bodies, letting go of bullshit beliefs. It's all a process. Healing from sexual trauma, it's a process. And it doesn't mean, oh, this is going to take me ages, I will never be healed. You are already where you are meant to be. It's not a case of, this could take years and I'll be here forever and, oh, I will never be healed. It's not about making those restrictions around us or verbally placing ourselves in a box or a label. It's just understanding and taking on board that it is a process, and during that process we're going to find new treasures, and we're going to sometimes feel very, very down and shitty, and other days feel very full and light. We don't expect a rose to go from a bud to full bloom. But there's no organic growth in that. There's no flow. That's not how nature works. An acorn doesn't suddenly become an oak tree. And we are the same. We are same. But each part, each unfolding of that rosebud to full bloom is beautiful. Every single part. And there's patience, and there's love, and there's care, and there's beauty, and there's nature, and there's adventure through all of that process. I used to share this little story that imagine you are a child and you're fast asleep on your parents' bed, and they're having a party, and each guest arrives and each guest throws their coat into the room, which is dark, onto the bed where you are sleeping. So one by one, all these guests, they arrive and they put their coats onto the bed on top of you where you are sleeping. And these coats, they hold all the beliefs and all the values and morals, etc., of that individual person, of the co-owner. And those guests, those co-owners, never come back for their coats. So you grow up as a child and through life carrying all these coats of beliefs and morals and values and systems that are not yours. So we go through life and we look at this coat and it doesn't fit, and the beliefs don't really resonate with us, and so we hand that coat back. And then we come to another coat and we go through the process of witnessing that and digesting how that feels for us and whether it fits or not, and we keep that or we hand it back. And this is how it is. And it's not a case of you are not healed, or you were always broken, or you will never be healed, or you will always be a victim of trauma or something that happened. It's not. It's simply a process, and that process can be graceful. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be full of treasures and full of knowing yourself in wonderful, delicious, creative, juicy ways. We by wanting quick fix solutions, we're missing out on the journey. We're missing out on a process where we explore so much about us. And it's not about going to a workshop or a retreat and believing that that is going to make everything magically better. It doesn't. We learn a lot in that weekend, but the work comes from how we integrate that into our lives, how we use that wisdom, that knowledge that's been shared with us into our daily lives. That's where the changes happen. So I think it's about time that we start expecting our lives to be like microwaves, and that actually exploring and expressing life for what it truly is, that it has oomph behind it, and it has meaning and it has depth, and that meaning and depth comes from the process.